Hello, Sabrina Alery here with Clearsnap, and today I'm going to share with you this delectably deadly mini book. It's filled with 7 of my favorite sinful dessert recipes. Of course, they're only deadly to your waistline, but I'm also going to share how to create this fabric paper, which is really becoming a big trend in scrapbooking. There's not a whole lot of designs out there yet, so we're going to create our own using our stamps, of course, and our color box inks. So to create this, I bought some of this utility fabric. I bought 1/3 of a yard. It cost $1. It's not quite as heavy as a canvas, but of course more heavy than a muslin. So you can make 3 sheets of 12 by 12 paper for $1. And then on the back we're using Heat and Bond. This is made by Thermal Web, and we're going to iron that on. We're also using our color box chalk inks. These are the Cat's Eye Q's. Lots of different colors here. And I have the pigment ink in coral. We're also using, I have a variety of stamps here. We have a molding mat that we're going to use with the Memory Essentials roll-on tool. You just stick that right on there. With this tool, we'll also be using the rollagraphs. You can take this middle wheel off and attach these here. I have some stamp blocks, smooch spritz in a variety of colors, and our color catcher, glue gloss, mini clothespins, a pinking shears, and a ruler. And then we have our crocodile, a heat gun, and then you'll need 7 grommets. Alright, and I think that's everything. Let's get started. So we cut the Heat and Bond to a 12 by 12 square, the same size as the fabric, and then we're going to lay that sticky side up right underneath the fabric, line it up so everything is nice and smooth, and then we're going to iron it on. It's going to fuse right to the fabric. I use the iron on a medium heat, and that will create the heavy weight adhesive back to your fabric paper. So peel that backing off and you're ready to go. Alright, so now to create the pages for the book, I'm going to mark out 3 by 4 inch rectangles, and I'm using the grid and my fabric chalk. I think you could just use kids chalk too if you don't have fabric chalk at home. Mark that out and then cut out those rectangles with your pinking shears. You're going to end up with 12 sheets, 12 pages for the mini, but you only need 8 of them. I only used 8 of them anyway. All right, using a piece of scratch paper, we're going to lay our fabric paper, our fabric page onto the back, and then I'm using the Blackbird chalk ink here. Just stick it on your, layer it up on your stamp nice and juicy, and stamp it onto your page to get the nice coverage. Alright, next we're going to use the Memory Essentials Get Rollin' tool, and I stuck my rollograph wheel right onto the tool. I'm going to ink that up just like a regular stamp and roll it on to the paper. Next we're going to switch out the sticky wheel that came with the tool, and I'm going to stick our molding mats right to that. It has a nice adhesive backing. So layer that up again, just like a regular stamp, and roll it onto the fabric paper. Again, you can use the roll-in tool also with the acrylic stamps that you already own. Just stick it right to there. It's reusable over and over. Layer that up. We're using the Q's here, the chalk inks Q's. They come in, they're pre-coordinated colors, and the small size allows you to own a lot of colors without taking up a lot of room. They're actually the first inks that I ever bought. Right, and then we're going to use an acrylic stamp here onto the stamp block. So you can see you can really use any stamp that you own to create the fabric paper. Any design that you have will work. The chalk ink sets great onto the fabric paper. It's permanent when heat set. Right, so next we're going to spritz up the fabric paper throw a few flicks of ink on there just to give it that distressed look. I layered some paper towels into the color catcher to soak up all the excess ink. You can see you can spritz over the entire background to give the background a new color, or you can just do the few paint splatters, whichever look you like. I used both for this project. And when you've completed all 7 pages, we're going to move on to the clothespins. I spritz those with the black velvet. And next we're going to continue that distressed look. We're going to use the sanding block to rough up the edges. And then I'm going to punch 3 large holes with the crocodile, and that'll be the setting for our grommets. Just insert that into your hole, and using the grommet tool that should have came with your grommets, pound that down to set it. And then you stick the binder ring right through here. So to create the front of this, I messed up originally. It didn't quite turn out as I wanted, but I didn't let that stop me. I'm just going to create a little sheet to cover that up. I'm going to stitch it onto the front. So I stamped with pigment ink here, and then I'm covering it with embossing powder. We're going to heat set that. And this is a resist, but it's a little bit different. It's a mask resist. I'm going to use the number 7 in my title and stick that right to the back. And then we're going to spritz that with our black velvet smooch. Give that a nice even coverage, and then peel that mask off. And so when the ink dries, we can rub off the ink on the title, and we can still see the title through the mask. I'm going to glue on the rest of my title. That isn't ink. And then I'm just going to stitch that right to the cover. Right, to create the inside pages, they're all the same. I printed off my recipe, my photo, and then the title. And I'm just going to use the glue gloss to stick the title right to the photo. And then we're going to layer those up onto the fabric page and secure them there with a clothespin. It'll be easy to remove. And that's our mini. To view more photos of the inside of this mini book and to find a lot more inspiration, please visit our blog at clearsnap.blogspot.com. And for product information, please visit clearsnap.com. Thank you. Bye.